So today I'm excited to compare two chunky knit yarns for you. Both of these yarns are not merino wool. They are made of synthetic materials and a little bit of wool. So these come in much cheaper than the merino wool that you find online. Both of them do. So we're going to be comparing Hobby Lobby's Yarn Bee brand Showstopper with the Loops and Threads Free Spirit that you can get at Michael's. We're going to be comparing these in terms of price, strength, weight, softness, variety, and the material. So the first thing I want to say is that both of these yarns are good for different things, different needs, different projects. I have a clear favorite, which you will see in the end, but I definitely think that both of these yarns are good for different purposes. They both come in at a size 7 jumbo, and they both use 25mm size 50 knitting needles if you weren't going to arm or table knit. They're both around the same amount of wool. So the Showstopper has 15% wool, 35% polyamide, and 50% acrylic, whereas the Free Spirit Loops and Threads, I keep wanting to call it Chutes and Ladders, I don't know. It comes in at 60% polyester, 20% acrylic, and 20% wool. One skein of the Showstopper is 26 yards and 10 ounces and comes in at $9.99, whereas one skein of the Free Spirit comes at 35 ounces, 54 yards, and $34.99. We're going to get more into the price of this later, but you definitely get more with this skein at one time in one ball, where you don't have to join the yarn together, which could come in handy later. So talking about joining the yarn, I have to say that the Showstopper is a clear winner in joining two skeins together. It's much softer, and it seems that the pieces themselves are thinner, so it joins much better. This is a piece I had just torn apart. This one is it's a little fuzzier. I don't even really know how to describe what makes it difficult. It's stiffer, I guess. So joining this yarn back together is much more difficult. So if you are doing projects that are larger, then you will want to consider, you will have to join more with this one, but I think it looks better and is easier than this one. If you're doing smaller projects, then you probably only need 1 to 2 skeins of this, so you wouldn't have to do but maybe one join in the project. As far as strength goes, the Showstopper I feel like is not as strong as the Spirit, which I'll show you in a clip. Basically, I had filmed this whole thing and the sound was crazy. I don't know what happened, so I had to refilm it, but so you'll see it and hear the buzz. So let's jump right into the strength test. If you're pulling really, really hard on the Showstopper, you can easily break your yarn. I've done it before when I was trying to kind of stretch something out, and it broke. See, it very easily breaks. This one is much harder, but it still breaks. In terms of price, with this Showstopper, like I said, you get 26 yards for $9.99. And what this translates to is 41 cents per yard. This one, you get 35 ounces for 54 yards, and that ends up being 65 cents per yard, which is a lot more. 20 cents doesn't seem that much, but when you're talking about a lot of yards, it is. Let me give you an example. So the blanket that I made last week was a 46 by 48 inches, I think. So it's like a medium-sized throw. I used 7 skeins of this, which, by the way, the Hobby Lobby yarn is still 30% off this week. So when I said that blanket was $49, it's when it's on sale, but it's almost always on sale. But at full price, that blanket would have been $70. If we make the same blanket, so 7 skeins would be $70. If we make the same blanket with the Free Spirit, we would have to use 4 skeins, and it would be $139.96. Now, fortunately, Michael's has this on sale right now for buy 2 get 1 free. So it would bring you down to $104.97. That's still $30 more than the full price of this one. So price being a factor, I definitely recommend the Showstopper brand. In terms of softness, the Showstopper, as you can tell, just seems silkier, and it is silkier. It's much softer. However, I believe that also contributes to the shed factor. It sheds more. Whereas the Free Spirit is itchier to me. I don't know if it's because it's got 5% more wool. I doubt it. I don't like the way it feels in my hands, and when I was working with it, I didn't like the feel of it going over, like, in just going through my hands and my wrists and stuff. That's just my personal opinion. Now, I do have a variety of different illnesses. Choose one. No, I have lupus, Sjogren's, and fibromyalgia, and I think my fibromyalgia really comes into play. I can't have certain things on my skin. In fact, I don't like anything touching my skin ever. This, I don't mind. It feels great. This, however, even like I said, just working with it, my skin is so sensitive that it drives me up the wall. But that is something to consider if you're making newborn props, because newborns do have sensitive skin too. So I would definitely say if you're going to go with this yarn, to put something against the yarn, in between the yarn and the newborn. This one I don't think is going to be as big of a deal because it's nice and soft and they can get all snuggly with it very easily. This one is much stronger than this one. So you have to take that into account too. Coming to variety, you get 7 different colors with the Showstopper. However, they're mainly neutrals and pastels, and you don't really get much of an option for a darker color. They have a darker gray than this, but it's not like super, super dark. The wonderful thing about the Free Spirit is it comes in 8 colors, and it goes from neutrals, pastels, to bolds and brights. So they do have a dark navy and like a graphite. It's like a black color. It is like almost black. So I really love that about this brand, that they have a darker color. I would wish that the Showstopper would provide a darker color, and even some brights or bolds would be nice. Like I said before, both of these have different, these can be used for different purposes. For instance, with this one, I wanted something stronger, so I made the honey pot, the knit honey pot, newborn photography prop. Whereas this one, I make a lot of my blankets and scarves and things. And like I said, it's really up to you what you want to use them for and what your project, and you'll definitely develop a favorite. Anyway, if you guys like to do photography or arts and crafts and you want to learn something new, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications.